So you don't think that men are overall better drivers than women?
No.
So when you see the worst parking you've ever seen in your life, you don't think it's more likely to be a female? It's just as equally likely to be a man.
He is crazy, bro.
When I see, oh yeah, exactly what you just said. Yes.
Then that's your opinion. What's the argument?
Like I said, it doesn't have to be an opinion, right? That's your anecdotal evidence, which is like kind of a bias, right? When you want to bring out things like women can't drive, you're going to go with stats, and your stats are off. You're just wrong about them.
No, everyone is firstly, when you talk about biases, absolutely everybody is biased to their own personal experiences, right? If I had been in 5 car crashes and all 5 of them were driven by women by coincidence, I'm going to be biased. I'm going to believe that women are less capable.
And then because fair enough.
You sit here and pretend you're not biased and you're beyond biases is bullshit. That's the first thing.
Okay.
We're all biased.
Okay, and then like a natural, good, educated human being, you're probably going to go on the internet and find some study that maybe you're right about it, and then you're going to figure out that you're wrong.
Study. Oh yeah, the internet study. Oh, why didn't I think of just following the internet study and not?
You're right, because we could have gone fucking Tate's experience instead. Bro,
why don't I ignore all my own personal experience and obey the internet study and get my 5th injection and just do everything the internet says?
You're right.
My personal experiences. Females are not as capable of driving as males. That's my personal experience. You can't come along and tell me that's not true. So, and I don't give a shit. Study. So
the next time we have a problem with science or some shit or physics, why go to the internet or talk to some experts? Let's go ask Tate's experience on it, and we'll have the answer to it, right? Sorry, no insults. I got unhinged. Sorry for that.
It's fine. That's what Twitch does to people.
I'll give you that one. That's pretty true.
Conversation would be very different in person.
Well, that part's not true for me at least.
But that's fine. That's the internet. Well, my personal experiences dictate to me, as all of your personal experiences dictate to you, certain realities about the earth. And in my personal experience, every car crash I've been in, every time my car's been hit, the worst parking I've ever seen has always been by a female. Now, I'm not saying females are bad people. I'm saying they're better than men at other things.
Okay.
Men have, if you want to talk about internet studies, because you seem to believe internet studies for some reason, even though you can give me lies, you can give me big lies, you can give me statistics.
Don't dish Gallups. They one topic at a time.
No, studies are the biggest lies on earth. But if you want to talk about studies, it's been proven that females do not have the same kind of spatial awareness that men have. They do not have the reaction times that men have. They've not evolved. This has been studied and found. You want to talk about studies?
And yet males cause more crash accidents on the road than women.
Cool. So we have
they have less tools to you and studies. Yet they cause more accidents. But according to your experience, they cause more accidents. So you're right. So you are right.
Correct. And so we have studies that conflict. And in my personal experience, I feel safer when a man is driving me than if a woman is driving me. That's my personal experience. If you want to sit here hoping that if you keep saying women can drive, you might get a girl, that's your decision. But in my personal experises, that's not the case. I don't know why we're going to sit here and argue about it.
Perfect. Then in that case, then what you're saying is that since you're such a smart being, if you go to the casino and there's 60% red squares and 40% black ones, right? 60-40. You should bet on the 40% black ones because that's how you're going to make money. According to your analysis of these stats, right?
I don't truly understand the analogy.
And it's simple. It's very simple. Like I just said, according to your interpretation
I didn't get it
of
either,
the stats on the internet or whatever, right? You would bet on the 40% outcome instead of 60%. And you're saying this is a good bet.
Oh, bro, I know, and I mean this with respect. I know the internet is your life, right? I don't use the internet for stats when I get into a car with a bitch. I don't go and go, okay, well, she's blonde. Let me look up the blonde chicks. Can they drive? Da-da. I get in a car and I look at her driving and go, and this bitch can't drive. That's what I do, right? And any man who's honest with himself has been in the car with a chick who's driving on some wild ass, crazy, texting on her phone, risking everyone's life. Every man knows I'm telling the truth.
Okay.
I know you can't say it. Okay. You don't want to get canceled, blah, blah, blah. You just sit here and say, when you get in a car with a girl, you look up an internet study first. Shut up. What are you talking about?
Bro, what are you talking about? A bad driver on the road that you can see is a bad driver. I don't give a fuck if they're old, if they're missing both fucking hands, if they're a guy, if they're white, they're black. I don't give a fuck. That person can't fucking drive. They can't fucking drive. I don't say, oh, I'm going to go to the study, or I'm going to do this with Andrew Tate. They can't fucking drive. Let me break a little bit and fucking change lane, yo. You know, I don't have a license, but yeah.
I'm going to interject real quick into this one-on-one here, okay? Do all of you guys remember the
Chat, who's winning?
example I gave about real life or like the real world versus the internet world?
Yeah.
Well, the example I gave about the word slut. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
I think I had that take exactly on point. In the real world, like I think when Andrew says what he's saying, right? Like, you know, the people get are like, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about, right? But in the internet world, everyone's very, 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 they're very exact, right? So when Andrew says women are bad drivers, the internet assumes that he's saying all women are bad drivers, women are terrible, women are fucking less than, right? So it just depends here. Are you talking like the real world talking where we understand what you're saying? Like when a rapper says all these girls are hoes, right? We know he's not saying all women are hoes. We know what he's talking about. When you go to the party, that one chick that's sleeping with all the dudes is a hoe, right? We get that comparison, but we know he's not saying that. So the real question here is, are you talking with the context of the real world only where you're kind of just making that, you're making that generalization, but you don't actually mean the generalization? Do you understand what I'm saying? Or are you actually a sexist? That's what the question is.
That's a very good question, and it's very professionally asked. So I like the way you've asked it. It's very professional.
Thank you.
No, you're completely and utterly correct. The way the rapper says all women are hoes is an absolutely perfect analogy. I'm not saying there's not a female on the planet who can't drive a car. I'm not saying that. I'm saying in general, if every man was honest with himself, if he were to ask him, what's the worst driving you've ever seen? What's the most uncomfortable you've ever been in a car? What's the worst parking you've ever seen? What if you were to ask him and he was honest and he wasn't on the internet worried about getting canceled or trying to be correct or looking up statistics or any dumb shit, he'd probably say, I was in the car with this chick once and she nearly killed me. That is not saying women are bad creatures. I'm not saying all women drive that way. It doesn't mean that I don't think females should have a right to drive, etc. I'm saying in general, I think that men have faster reaction times. We are more interested in cars. We enjoy driving more. We pay more attention than women do.